So I'm going to relate. My first question is around your character and sort of the impact of alternative music in the sort of 90s, early 2000s. Obviously, grunge was around. ECW seemed to me as a fan to be inspired by that. WCW as well. Your character, to me, there was a lot of, it catered for the alternative community.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, was that intentional? Did you plan that, or was that just was it circumstantial of the time? It was a part of the time where you thought it was necessary to. I don't want to put words in your mouth here. It probably comes across like I am. Like, to what extent was the music a part of your character? Did you want to bring it in?
It's a huge part.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I came up with the character was I was sitting there talking to DDP one day, and he goes, and I was like, man, I was in WWF it was WWE at the time, I think, or I think they just became WWE, and they just had me as Johnny Polo, and then they took me off TV, which I never thought I was Johnny Polo anyway. That should have been Shane McMahon, you know what I mean? Because he's he's that character, Greenwich, Connecticut. My vocal pattern, I sound like a thug, you know what I mean? I don't sound like somebody upper class, rich guy. And and then they took me off TV. I was doing the All American and with Gorilla Monsoon, and I was also producing associate producer Monday Night Raw, and but then eventually Vince he said, there's a disconnect between you and the Johnny Polo. I don't get it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't get it either. It's not me. He goes, yeah, you're right. And he goes, we're going to just have you work behind the scenes. And I didn't get in this business to do this. And here I am, like, this is like 93. I was like 6 years in the business, and I'm already being shuttled into the producer role and being groomed to be a booker on the booking committee. And I was like, I got to do something else. I mean, I got to get back in the ring. I got to quit. And I was talking to DDP, and he said, I was saying, man, I go, I was bemoaning the fact that nobody hires chicken shit heels. So I loved playing a chicken shit heel, but nobody on the big stage was, that WWE and WCW weren't hiring that kind of character. He goes, you know what you should do? He goes, you wear a leather jacket, you wear Doc Martens, you wear ripped up jeans. You should just be, he goes, I saw this movie Point Break the other day, and you look like one of those Red Hot Chili Pepper dudes. You got tattoos. Yeah, I had long hair growing out. Like, this was when everybody was still wearing a mullet. I was growing my hair out. And he's like, you ought to be like the Red Hot Chili Pepper dudes. And I was like, and that pushed me in a direction where I was like, all right, let me think about this. And I decided I had to be a badass because I didn't want to be a badass because everybody plays a badass. But I thought it was more interesting being a chicken shit, but they weren't hiring that. And I knew I had to change my character 180 degrees. And so I decided to go, commit to my look that I'd wore. Like, it was funny. Like, I'd wear what you consider Raven looking clothes. And then Vince would make me wear a suit and tie. Like, he was trying to make me wear a suit and tie. And he had the HR lady helping me to try and, groom me to be, they had plans for me.
Right.
But I didn't want to be that, like I could take my suit and tie off and I'd go right into Raven wear. And so I said, okay, so what can I wear to wrestling? And I go, let's see, ripped up jean shorts, need that. So I pulled them out of the closet, put them on, perfect. Yeah. Ripped up concert shirt, that's perfect. Sleeves cut off, show off my big arms at the time. I used to have big arms. And then I said, need some flannel because that's part of the zeitgeist, flannel, tied that around my waist, put wrestling sole on my Doc Martens.